How long should your podcast be? This is one of those questions that eludes a lot of first-time content creators and especially a lot of first-time podcasters. Well, in this video, we're going to look at that question and answer it. How long should your podcast be? Hey Changemaker, Jay Wong here. This question gets brought up to me all the time. How long should your podcast be? Well, the real simple answer is that it depends. It depends on the type of show you are looking to build. If you are giving talks and giving keynotes and you have previous speeches and you're looking to do interviews, those are typically longer forms of content. That's where people kind of expect it to be 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour plus, maybe sometimes even 2 hours or longer. On the other hand, if you are creating content like this, if this was a podcast and you just wanted to learn the one thing or you wanted to get the 3 steps to do X, people typically expect those pieces of content to be relatively shorter, right? Doesn't that make sense? So it depends on the type of show you are actually looking to build. Now, if you want to Google this really quick and take up some research, I live in Canada, even though I travel to the US for a lot of business and different talks here and there. They say the normal commute in North America is 25.4 minutes, okay? 25.4 minutes. How does that compare to your commute, right? Does that make sense for whether people are carpooling or driving or taking the bus? It's around 25 minutes. So an easy place to start would just to look at that number and say, okay, why don't I just create content that is around that 20 to 25 minute time mark so that if I'm posting on a consistent basis, people can almost have those days where they plug you into their ears and they're just listening to your content. Now, truth be told, this is where I got started because I didn't really have any points of reference. And, in fact, when I was just getting started creating content, I was so timid. I didn't really have all these frameworks for thinking of how to do all of this. So I just aimed for that 25-minute point. Now, in some of my earlier interviews, I just picked 25 minutes or half an hour as a good starting point. And I found that as I did more interviews, that this was too little of a time for me. Just understanding who I am and understanding my own unique ability, which is a video that we kind of created a little while ago, right? Talking about who are you, right? Like what are the gifts, what are the things that you're gonna bring to the table? Because so much of the podcast is about you, right? So you have to get clear on the type of show you want, on who you are as the host, right? Are you the person that's gonna jump in a lot? Are you built for kind of long term? Or are you more for like, forget all the fluff, let's just get to the meat and potatoes of it, right? So you have to know that about yourself. And I know for me, especially when I was just starting out with the interviews, 20 to 25 minutes didn't really give us the time to actually sink in to the conversation, right? And so as I kind of kept posting, I increased the time to 35 minutes, 40 minutes. Now a lot of our episodes is right around that 40 to 50 minute range. Now this is true if it is a recording, maybe it's a secret recording or it's a talk that I'm giving, or maybe especially if it's an interview, that's usually the time frame that I prefer to create content around. If it's content like this, if you've watched any of our other videos on our channel, or maybe this is only the first video, look how long this video is, right? It's relatively shorter. We like to keep these for under 10 minutes, right? And without going into the algorithm and what these things prefer, I just want to be able to give you the shortest time to be able to give you the framework and the answers to your questions. That's what a lot of these how-to videos and how-to content is built around. So that's how I was personally able to figure out how long my podcasts need to be, and really my own comfort zone with the length of the content that I was creating. But how are you going to figure this out, right? I mean, we asked some really good questions here, but I want to give you a bonus strategy, really a way of thinking for the length of content as you're creating content down the line. This is applicable for online courses and podcasts and videos and blogs. Now, before I share this with you, just know that my intention is not to offend anyone, but this is actually the analogy that someone gave me to think about when I would ask that question of how long should my podcast be? They said, well, think of the content you're creating as a women's skirt, okay? A women's skirt, that's right. So it needs to be long enough to cover the subject matter, but short enough to pique some curiosity. right? So I always think about that, is that am I just making it long because someone told me that, in every video needs to be longer than 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever it is, right? Am I just adding some fluff into it? Or am I actually giving people some actionable steps? Are you providing value with your content? So that's how you should be thinking about your content. Don't worry about, is it 25.4 this year, or is it 28 minutes this year, or is it 20 minutes this year? I wouldn't be too concerned with where the numbers land. Be more concerned with the value that you are giving through the podcast, and make sure that it's a representation of who you are, of what your business stands for, or what you stand for, and what you're comfortable with at the end of the day. So I hope that answers the elusive question of how long your podcast needs to be. For those of you that are looking to launch your podcast, down below you'll see a link to download my podcast creation roadmap. It's gonna pretty much give you that clarity for the 8 different phases and sequences and the steps that you need to be able to go out and launch your podcast. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash that like button and share this with someone that might need to answer this, that might need to actually see this. If you love the video, I love it if you could subscribe to our Changemaker community here. Subscribe to our channel, because we're going to be coming out with some amazing content. I really want to be able to give value back to you. And if you have any questions around the topic of how long your podcast needs to be, or around your podcast, love for you to be able to write that in the comment section below. Whenever these videos go live, I'd love to be able to hang out there and answer every single one of your questions. It's my commitment to you being a change maker, to you wanting to go create some level of legacy in your life. I'm excited for you. So that's it for this video, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll talk to you then.